Right, hey guys, how are we doing? Back on another video from Grand Line Reviews. And we are checking out the top 10 most powerful characters without a devil fruit. Mihawk has to be on this list. My god, he is one of the warlords, man, and he don't have no devil fruit. That's impressive. I don't know if Goldie Roger's going to be on this list because it was only recently that we learnt that he didn't have a devil fruit. So that's always been up in the open, in the air, questioning. Who else? Can't really think off the top of my head. Well, let's see who the top 10 most powerful non-devil fruit users are.
This video will contain a hidden image of St. Charles, so you might want to prepare your eyes for some aesthetic. Hello and welcome to the Grand Line Review, your source for everything One Piece. My name is Liam and I know someone who is literally allergic to the colour blue. He legitimately cannot eat, drink or even brush his teeth with anything blue. But today we are here with a very important task, which is to power scale fictional pirates on the internet. Because I don't know about you, and to be honest, there's only so much I care. But I would like to discover who the top 10 most powerful non-devil fruit users are in One Piece.
Interesting.
Because fruit and fruit nommers get an awful lot of focus on this channel, and in fact all channels, so I think it's time to reward those who have made a name for themselves
Shanks, of course.
the assistance of magical sea-based powers. And it's all going to begin with a quick round of Big Man Lifts Big Things. A very simple minigame, the rules of which are as follows. Here we have a big One Piece man thing, and he's going to lift one of 3 heavy objects. Meanwhile, it is going to be your job to guess the object that he is going to lift. Now, should you guess incorrectly, then your punishment will be to subscribe to the Grand Line Review, resulting in consistent injections of One Piece culture administered directly into your YouTube feed. And if you are correct, then you will be awarded with a brutal personal training session in order to lift the object yourself. But which one will it be? This one, this one, this one,
elephant.
This one again. Make your choice now and we shall reveal the answer in 3, 2, 1, and bam! It was the elephant. So if you guessed incorrectly, then you know the thing to do, and please do say hi in the comments below if you are a new member of the Grand Fleet. Welcome.
This is quite funny.
The list, it's important to go through our ranking criteria, because there is nothing that generates more fun than rules and restrictions.
Damn right.
There are 3 things that a character needs to be eligible for ranking here. And the first is obviously that they are a confirmed non-devil fruit user. But that word, being confirmed, is important. Because without it, we'll end up getting stuck in endless conversations about dragons and Rogers and
there we go. Yeah, but we only recently had it confirmed, haven't we?
Don't know
by
whether or not they have a
Kaido.
And I really don't want any potential fruit users infiltrating our list, so they are gone. We are having no ambiguity here. Our second criteria is that a candidate must have a demonstrable showing of power. We're not going to sit here and speculate about characters like Yasov, Ben Beckman, and Kong. And look, I get it, the word
they have to have shown how strong they are.
Strong, so he probably is. But when that is the only piece of evidence we have for his abilities, there is no way that we can actually rank him. So in order to be here today, you need to have done something of tangible value.
Right.
And our final criteria is that the character does not engage in technical nonsense.
Right.
In this, we're talking about people like Shirahoshi or Elisabella who do have access to very top-tier power, but only in very specific circumstances. They do technically exist, but we're not getting into any of that today, just raw, demonstrable, non-fruity strength. Which we will then go on to rank using facts and logic. In some cases, those may be cherry-picked facts and flawed logic, but that has never stopped us before. Kicking things off in 10th place, we find ourselves with a Jinbei. Although I'd like to note that my script order corrected his name to Jinbabe, which I quite like.
He doesn't have a devil fruit, does he? Why didn't I?
You know what, that is enough whale shark objectification for one.
Jinbei is definitely up there, man.
This list as the undisputed master of Fisherman Karate.
Fisherman Karate, that's the one, yeah.
Skilled that he can obliterate an existence like Gecko Moria with minimal effort, as well as stand up to the absurdity that is Sakazuki. What does hold Jinbei back here is the idea that we do have a solid power comparison for him though, and that would be against Ace. The two of them fought for 5 days and nights, with the conflict eventually concluding in some sort of double KO. And yes, that was a long time ago, but also not that long ago. And it leaves Jinbei in a slightly awkward position because Ace, in the grand scheme of things, he was not all that strong. But still, given that almost every major super being in One Piece is a devil fruit user, that actually makes Jinbei quite a standout in this format. So good on him, but still not quite good enough. In 9th place, we have the ever-delightful Nekomamushi and Inu Arashi. I should say that when we're talking about most powerful non-fruit users, a lot of Oden's vassals come very close.
Do you know what? Didn't even think about that. Yeah, these guys are pretty damn strong.
But floating at the very top of the vassal pot,
of course. Even Oden didn't have a devil fruit, did he?
Their rather outrageous power all the way back on Zoro, facing off against Jack in a tag team struggle. That's nothing too unique for vassals, however, and in fact, Ashura Doji has even gotten the better of Jack on that one casual occasion.
Yeah.
What does push our mink leaders over the line is their
the moon.
access to the Sulong form, which sadly does have some technical nonsense attached to it, only capable of being used under a full moon and such. But these two have the demonstrable raw power to back that nonsense up. The Sulong form is more of an unnecessary bonus to their already insane
Yeah, they're pretty damn
abilities.
strong
And
already,
for
aren't they?
want of
Yeah.
a better term when talking about cats and dogs, they also have quite an impressive pedigree, having been part of two of the world's strongest pirate crews led by Goldie Roger and White Beard, respectively. And of course, it's more or less impossible to rank them individually. In fact, Oden has very purposely structured their equals in the series, so it's only fitting that they appear as a pair here
Brilliant.
today. And I guess if you did want to rank them individually, then you just,
flip a coin
and kick Jinbei off the list, but I'm not going to be the one to tell him that. You go and tell Boss Jinbei that he's no longer on the list. Yeah, good luck. Moving on to 8th position, though, we discover a pervy...
Of course!
bushes. But just as with the cat, the dog, and the fish before him, Sanji is not to be underestimated. Granted, he hasn't had a lot of time to show off in the new world, but those rare moments where we do get to see Sanji's
He
potential
does
very
kick
much on
ass.
display definitely solidify his spot here. We're talking about stuff like striking Charlotte Oven very casually dispatching at page 1, and several Wano spoiler moments that I won't drop here. But the thing about Sanji is that, yes, he has an incredibly, very flawed persona, but when it comes to power, he can fight with the best of them.
Definitely
In many
can. He
cases,
can stand his
even
own, man.
Not all, but many. It's actually frightening just how amazing Sanji could be if not for his Sanjiness. But even so, Sanji is well within the Hall of Fame for non-Devil Fruit users.
Definitely.
Really off that one, huh? But also within that Hall of Fame is someone you may not have expected. I certainly didn't expect this myself, but in number 7 we have
Virgo.
I know, it seems weird, but this was the point where I realized, there really aren't all that many powerhouses that don't rely on one-piece fruit salads. And Virgo I have to place above Sanji because he was demonstrably dominant over him in their conflict on Punk
That's
House.
very true.
There's a lot
He's
of
just
Sanji
really
apologies
good
for
at
going to
armament
much
hacky,
closer
wasn't he?
than it was, but by Sanji's own admission, he would have lost quite swiftly if he kept on fighting. Virgo, in retrospect, is a shockingly underrated combatant, and it took one of the most overpowered Devil Fruits in the entire series to put him down. In fact, the very question of how Law defeated Virgo is one of those enduring queries that is only more relevant these days now that it's confirmed that Haki does negate his Devil Fruit. And that's not the point. The point is that Virgo has all sorts of crap on his face.
That was weird, that, like, yeah.
Oh, and he's also strong. That's probably more relevant, actually. But moving on to 6th place, we have our monumental
Zoro, of
boss
course,
and
yes.
Roanoa Zoro. And this is one of those funny things where if this was like a top 20 strongest characters in One Piece, just in general, then I am legitimately not sure if Zoro would make that list. This whole getting rid of Devil Fruits thing has really opened my eyes because there really aren't all that many regular schmucks who can take Zoro,
Yeah.
which has been repeatedly proven post-time skip. And if you're up to date with the old manga, then I really don't think any kind of justification is required here because you all know what he did. You all know the things. And for anime watchers, you've got something to be very excited about.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, of course, you don't like Zoro, in which case this raid's going to be a bit rough for you. Now, with all of that said, the top 5 are going to be in a complete league of their own. The gap between Zoro and our next finisher is more of a gaping chasm, and that chasm goes by the name
Mihawk, of course, there we
world's
go.
greatest swordsman, the sparring partner of one of the 4 emperors, wine connoisseur and baboon enthusiast. Is there anything Mihawk doesn't have? There is, actually. Mihawk doesn't have a challenge. Within this incredibly dangerous world full of earthquake beards, soul-stealing mothers, and drunkard dragons, Mihawk just looks at all of that and goes, yeah, but that's kind of boring. Where are the strong people at? Although, to be fair, he
Damn.
did very much recognize his inferiority to Whitebeard, as all should. And
Yes,
Mihawk
definitely.
is primarily playing the sword game. A game that nobody except Zoro wants to play with him. But Zoro's not good enough to play the game. It's like having that annoying little brother who just wants to do what you're doing. Mihawk is so powerful that there is not a single living swordsman capable of entertaining him. Things get a bit
Crazy.
more interesting when we talk about the dead ones, though. Because in number 4,
Oden. Jesus.
Mihawk may well be the world's greatest swordsman, but he still has yet to show us the kind of skill that Oden casually exuded. Where Mihawk viewed himself as a clear inferior to Whitebeard, Oden jumped into the fray and became his brother. He was still far from being a true equal to the future strongest man in the
But
world.
he still was respected.
Roger, but Oden is still this, mind-boggling existence. Sort of like Big Mom, it seems that he was just born with these deity abilities. I mean, he definitely didn't inherit them from his father Sukiyaki. I mean, look at this guy. He isn't fighting no Whitebeard, or any beards at all, for that matter. And during a time where Kaido seemed like an unstoppable force of this world, Oden was the character who put the word seemed into this sentence. Oden
He
broke
put
that
fear
illusion
into
of
him, man.
Kaido, as well as a fair bit of surface area on his chest. Kozuki Oden is a true legend. One of the most powerful people to have ever existed, period. Devil Fruit or no. A name that will not be at all easy to overcome. But with that said, here are 3 names who can overcome it. Usually I would do that. And it all starts at number 3.
Rayleigh,
Rayleigh.
mate.
It's a bit of an unintentional rhyme, but I will take it. How many old men do you know that can swim their way through the calm belt? In fact, while we're
Not
here,
many.
how many old men do we know who can just swim in general? Whitebeard can't, Sengoku can't, Fujitora can't, so I guess we really are just left with Rayleigh and Whoopslap. Of course, Rayleigh has made quite the name for himself by facing off against Kizaru that
Mate,
time,
that's
and not being
a feat.
caught, so I imagine that things went pretty well. As a confirmed non-Fruitian, Rayleigh does also have the benefit of being a master of all 3 brands of Haki, and even though that's actually nothing special for this list, Rayleigh is still quite possibly the best overall living Haki user that we've met to date. All of the crazy crap that he was showing off pre-timeskip is stuff that we are only just getting to now with Luffy and friends of Luffy. And no, he may not be in his prime anymore, but that's why he gets the bronze medal. Because bronze is kind of like a filthy gold that you just haven't cleaned.
A filthy gold.
Or shiny silver
Shanks.
land on red-headed Shanks.
Mates,
and I usually don't
OP, man.
like bringing Shanks into power discussions because there is so little tangible evidence involving him, but being able to split the skies with Whitebeard is all of the evidence I need to vaguely rank him on a strangely specific list. You see, Oden, he also clashed with Whitebeard, but there was a grand total of 0 sky splits there, so Shanks is going to sit quite comfortably above him. And really, Shanks is the man who walked up to a war and said, hey,
Just
stop that right now.
And they did.
The war obeyed him because the war was scared. And quite frankly,
crazy.
it's one of the greatest crimes in One Piece that we still have not seen more of Shanks, but I have seen enough to know that this is exactly where he belongs. And I've also seen enough to crown our champion here today, which is probably quite predictable at this stage, because his name is Monkey D. Garp, and that's the only name that we haven't heard yet, so here he is. But how
Of course, yeah, Garp doesn't have a fruit either.
Garp is a man who's very
Garp
legend
fought
predates
Goldie,
legends.
Roger and Whitebeard.
Whitebeard was still struggling as a level 1 crook. Garp was already a level 100 Mafia boss. Alongside Sengoku, Garp is the only Marine to have ever really earned the respect of Goldie Roger, and is quite possibly the only one the strength of the Pirate King was never capable of overcoming. All without Devil Fruit. In fact, as of right now, we don't even know if
Yeah,
Garp
wasn't he
has
one that
conquered
took down like
something, which
rocks? Is
insane.
like Crow,
If that remains to be the case,
which was like
then
Big Mom,
it really shows that
Kaido,
he clawed his way to the
Whitebeard.
top with nothing but the pure power of fist. And it's thoughts like that that really do highlight the relation between Garp and Luffy. Whatever the problem is, a fist will solve it. Rubber fist, old man fist, it doesn't matter what it is, just shove it in someone's face and go and have a well-earned donut. But if you'd like to earn a donut, then sure, but first you need to go and watch this video. It's about stuff to do with One Piece, you know, the thing you like. So it'll be great fun, and I look forward to seeing you there.
It's funny, isn't it? Like when I start these videos off, I'm like, oh god, I can't think of anybody. And then as soon as I start listing people off, like, of course, there's so many people that you could put on there. But that was a fun little list. Like I said, though, it's funny, isn't it, that like since he's done this video, we've had it confirmed by Kaido that Roger never had a devil fruit. So he would surely be number 1, potentially, you know. But yeah, definitely agree with that list. Like Jinbei as well, of course, doesn't have a devil fruit. And Sanji, Zoro, Oden's vassals, Oden. It's like, duh. But yeah, cool. Thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video I upload, links in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all that helps support the channel. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you guys very much for that, and thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know what I should watch discuss in future videos. And I'll see you guys, all you guys, next time.